Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. What's going on, traders? Johnny back with another live day trading session. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your day. Today is February 6th, 2026. It is Friday, and it is 7:25 my time. Market opens in about 5 minutes. And as you can see, we are currently up just shy of $60 this morning, and it's not even the opening bell yet, and that is equivalent to 3%. So we already beat our goal for the day. We'll go over exactly how that's possible. For all of you who are watching or have been watching the channel and are in our LTE team would know already why I'm up this much. It has a lot to do with my swing trades that I'm currently in. QQQ up to $600 in the pre-market session from lows of 587. It did peak around 602.92, so I got my alert set to see if it breaks above 692, and we will set our alert around 595 in case we get a break below this 200-day moving average. Also, if this is your first time tuning in, definitely consider smashing the like button and subscribing to the channel. It would mean a lot to me if you do that. That is the one thing I ask of you. And consider joining our Discord. That is the first link in the description and the first pinned comment in the comment section. That'll give you access to our main trading chat room. That'll give you access to our Learn to Earn lesson library. And that'll give you access to all my past and future live streams moving forward. All right. Yeah, smash that like button for me, guys. Let me know if you can hear me okay and see me okay. My computer did an update, so sometimes it'll be a little weird after an update. All right, QQQ falling slightly here. Let's take a look at some other companies that we are tracking. On the 5-minute time frame, plug is up to 192. It's up about 3.73% in the pre-market. AG&C pushing up to 1145. Oh look, we just crossed over $60 on the day. We're at 62 bucks now. That is awesome. SoFi pushing up from lows of $18.50 to highs of $20.32. Netflix hovering around $81. Hood pushing up from $68 low yesterday to now around $77.85. Disney up to 105. And we'll go over cost basis and show that stuff later. Oracle pushing up to 139.50. Nvidia pushing up nicely from 169.94 all the way up to 177.94. So currently at 176, about 2%. Amazon had a rough start to its earnings. It sold off, pretty amazingly. We did cover it yesterday in a live stream. We had a full coverage live stream of not only Google Alphabet the day before, but Amazon and MSTR yesterday, so you can go back and watch that. But Amazon sold off 13%, which is insane. Currently down about 9% still. Amazon is at $202. Apple up to 277. AMD around 197. ABGO up to 320. Google up to 327. Tesla holding at 400 per share. Microsoft holding around 400 per share, and Meta around 664. Let's see Bitcoin real quick. Bitcoin is at 67,000. So that's interesting to see. Which means MSTZ should be pushing down. Yeah, from highs of $31 yesterday down to lows of 22. MSTR pushing up from lows of 100. Now we did call out $100. We thought that $100 was a very strong support, and it looks like it is actually holding up to that case. $100 per share for MSTR in the pre-market, now up to 118 as everything begins to recover. Now let's see if this is a short-lived recovery or if everything does begin to recover much higher. Excited to see that with you guys here. Let me know. What are you guys watching? What are you guys looking at? What are you trading today? I'd love to know. All right, we're currently up $75, almost 4% on the day. Beautiful. Beautiful. QQQ holding around 600. MSTR up to 117, 118. Now, it doesn't mean I would invest in MSTR. It's still a BS company. Still not something I would invest in. MSTR reported a $17 billion loss, and it's being held on by that $100 mark. Let's see, Amazon still down 9%. Where's AMD at? AMD right around 198. We'll see if it can hold up. I can't believe MSTR lost 17 billions of unrealized gains. That could have all been factored in though during earnings, before earnings. That could be why it didn't sell off more during the earnings call, because it could have already been factored in before. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. How are you doing today? Andrew's been very consistent, showing up every morning. We're currently just surpassed 4% in profits today, up $78. Just shy of 80. Oh, we just hit $80. You guys see up here in the top right corner. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, what day trades can we take? Super bullish. So I wouldn't necessarily want to short it just yet. You know, let this pump to 120, 130, 140. You know, when it starts to show signs of resistance and peaking and beginning to curl over, then we may short MSTR by buying into MSTZ again. You know, the more MSTR pumps, the cheaper MSTZ will get for us. Now remember, we are trading MSTZ around $10. That means 100 shares is only about $1,000. When it crossed over, you know, $17, it was $1,700 for 100 shares. When it pushed up to, you know, $25, it was $2,500 for 100 shares of MSTZ. And of course, once it pumped up to $31, that was $3,100 for 100 shares. So I just crossed over $90. Let's see if we hit $100 today. That'd be fantastic. $100 on the day would be amazing. We're even going to screenshot this because that is just so amazing to be up that much. Now remember, we can go much higher. A lot of this has to do with our swing trades. I'm not in an active day trade today. Again, when we do see something begin to curl over, I don't mind shorting it. And if we see something pump up really well, then we could add to our position for sure. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of our companies that are doing very well this morning. SoFi up about 3.5% or $10, nothing too crazy. AG&C up only $2.40, about a half of a percent point. Netflix, we are up $8 or about 1.5%. And Hood is the winner today, up $70 or 10, almost 11% on a $700 position. Now, it's insane how much more we could actually see these pump. If we show cost basis here, I've actually lowered my cost basis by buying into this company quite a bit as it began selling off, right? So buy, wait for it to sell off and begin a reversal, and then buy heavier here to reduce my average. My average was up to like 109, 107, 102 during this time. Now my average is about 95. I was going to buy a few more shares today if it began to dip lower, but of course it didn't, so we're going to wait to see what it does. But man, I mean, if you look at this on a daily time frame, we're up 70. We could potentially be up closer to $500 on this single trade. So we are just at the beginning stages of actually locking in some really nice profits. Netflix, the same thing with Netflix. We might be up $7, but we're looking to lock in around closer to $300 on Netflix. Okay, so that's already $800 right there total combined. SoFi, we are looking for another $150 in profit. We're up about 11 so far. So that's what, 950. And then of course ANG, we're just kind of holding ANG long term. So, you know, we have close to $1,000 in potential profits. And so this is just the beginning. All right, just crossed over $100 on the day. 5%. There we go, capture that a little better. Up $100 on the day, or 5% profit. So looking pretty good as QQQ begins to recover and push higher. We'll see if we get that break above 603.24. And this is great. This is great. So this is showcasing to you, you know, not only we can make money day trading, but we can also make money swing trading, especially when there is times of uncertainty. You know, obviously waiting for this to sell off more. You can't always time it perfectly, but when it does work in your favor, you're being patient, you control your emotions, then you are, you know, better off compared to, you know, taking a SoFi trade up here and then getting really emotional and selling because you're down 5%, right? You could always buy more at the bottom or be patient enough to recover, especially on solid companies that have a good track record. You know, you don't have to worry usually about companies like that. So yeah, I'm excited. Hood is doing very well. It's recovering well, up $80 on the day for our Hood position. Now what can we day trade? You know, I'm waiting to see if Bitcoin has an overreaction. You know, it's at 68,200, so we may not day trade right now. It might take 20 minutes, it might take an hour, we might have to trade this later on in the afternoon, but I'm doing my part by setting my alerts to see how high this can actually pump, and when it begins to sell off, then we're gonna make some decent money. MSTZ back down to 1940. I love to see it. The lower this gets, the more and more I'm excited to be able to chase the rally again, right? When MSTR begins to sell off again. MSTZ down 28%. So that's why another reason I don't like to hold positions overnight, especially my day trades, right? Swing trading is a little different than day trading, but you have to know the difference between both. Swing trading, solid companies with good, good P&Ls, good revenues, strong growth. You know, that's important when you're swing trading. But I would not swing trade MSTZ, obviously, right? Now, in this period from 17 to 31, that would have been a nice 3 or 4 day swing trade. But there's no way of telling. Anyone could look back and be like, yeah, I could have made money. The point is, did you? Did you have the emotional strength, um, the trade plan to be able, and the discipline to be able to take this trade? 80% in 3 days, or $14 per share. Now giving it all back. MSTZ, let's see, getting overreaction here, of course. MSTZ going from 115 to 123, or MSTR, I'm sorry, all the way up to 123. We'll see if we get a continuation to the upside or if this begins to sell off. MSTZ looks like it's curling over. Do you guys see how this forms? Massive sell-off, begins to consolidate, and then when it consolidates, usually we'll get a reverse in direction. Usually direction will change. Doesn't always have to happen. We could get consolidation and then more selling pressure. Same with MSTR, right? It goes both ways. So it pushes up, and then it starts to consolidate, and then begins to curl over. So this is what I love to see, and this is what makes me so successful as well, right? You get these overbought reversals and these oversold reversals that you can identify very clearly. Pushes up, consolidates, begins to curl over and sell off, or it consolidates and begins to push to a new high. Okay, so it can happen like that too. But the consolidation period right here is where the bulls and the bears are fighting, almost like a battleground. Who's going to win, right? A lot of consolidation means usually a reverse in pattern. 68,000, Bitcoin hit 68,000. Again, remember, Bitcoin was as low as 60,000. I wonder if Michael Saylor bought any more shares at this level. That's what I'm curious. Andrew, my hood finally going? Heck yeah. Heck yeah, Andrew. All right, QQQ up to 602.75. Again, we'll see if this was an overreaction. All right. What are you guys trading? What are you guys looking at? Ooh, it's getting warm now. A little chilly this morning, but not that bad compared to, you know, January. January was cold. We'd had 0-degree days. A couple days that felt like minus 16. We had some cold days recently. Last night was like 30 degrees and it didn't even feel like it. It was pretty nice and hot in here. But I'm from Arizona and California technically. That's where I graduated high school, was in California. I played football in both places, but Arizona, geez, 100, 110, 115 degrees. So my body kind of got used to that hot weather. So I don't mind being warm. Let me know your thoughts. You guys live somewhere warm? You guys live somewhere cold? I believe Andrew said he lives in Texas. Is it warm down there right now? QQQ pushing up 603. It hit 604. Let's see if we get some nice continuation. I believe we can. Currently up $100 or 5% on the day. Love to see it, guys. Beautiful way to end the week. After a long week of selling off, starting on Monday, it pushed up to 643, which was an overreaction. So let's just say from 627 down to 587, down 6% on the overall market. Now beginning to push up about 1% today. Andrew, I'm working outside, not so bad. Cool. Are you watching this as you're working outside, or you haven't left for work yet? I'd love to know. Um, BSAS, how much risk reward need to be set in swing trading and stop loss amount and total initial capital required in swing trading? That's a good question. Swing trading can be a little bit different than day trading, obviously. So when I'm day trading, I myself like to have around $1,000 or more, but you can day trade with less, you can day trade with more. But I did a poll last summer with over 70,000 members in our Investing for Beginners community, and they have a average stock account for day trading around $1,000 to $2,000. Now again, I've had challenges where I started with $500. This year we're starting with 2,000 and we're growing it throughout the year. So that's day trading. Now, as far as risk reward, I like to risk 1 to 2% of my position size. Okay. Now that helps reduce my account size from getting blown up, right? So, because if you risk 10% on a position, but you use your entire account size of say $1,000 as an example, then you would be down $100. Now, what if your position size was only $500? Then if it goes down 10%, you're down $50. But if you manage your risk between 1 and 2% on that $500, then you're only down, five, 20 to $50, something like that. It's like 10 actually. So on $1,000, right, you'd only be down 1 to 2% on your account size. It'd be 10 to $20. On $500, it'd be $5 to $10. So the risk is very small when day trading. Now, when swing trading, it's a little different, right? You could be down 5% on a swing trade and technically want to stop out, and then it begins to push up after it's down 5%. So, Andrew, watching and trading at work. Nice. I love it, man. I love it. You got to do what you got to do. I remember I used to do that. I wasn't able to, have the blessing I do now. I don't work. I just, I do these certain side businesses, and I trade, I do YouTube, I do a few other things to keep me busy. So I don't work a traditional job any longer. But when I did, there's days I have to be at work at 6 a.m. and then the market don't open till 7:30. So I would set an alarm 5-10 minutes before the market bell, and I tried to trade and get into positions. Now that I put my hat off to you, because that is not easy, right? That's not easy, checking it at work. And so yeah, that's awesome. Up $107, 5.5%. So let's give an example on let's say SoFi. Okay, so BSAS, would I trade this on a downtrend? No. You're not going to know that this is on a downtrend. The only way you know is because it's consistently getting rejected off of this 200-day moving average, this green line, right? So in my opinion, I got in on this company just a little bit too soon, right? No one knew that this thing was going to sell off with the market. No one knew the market was going to sell off. So I bought some here thinking this was an overreaction and I wanted to buy the dip, right? Now when we look at the 4-hour or the daily, we can see I bought right before it bounced off of the moving average. Now daily time frames are great to see because if you bounce off this moving average, usually it'll pump very nicely and it'll have a nice uptrend. It's below the moving average currently. Okay, so like right now, it can get rejected off of this moving average again and go down even further, or it can cross over this moving average and begin to push up, and that's what I am expecting to see. Now by having a light position, say, what are we at right now? We're at $290. Okay, we're up 18 bucks. We're still down slightly. If I take a look, we're down 6%. So at one point, I think I was down maybe close to maybe 10%. And 10% is like, that's like max. That's like max loss right there for a overall swing trade. Now, the market was a little weird this week. It sold off a lot, but I was confident enough that, look, I didn't go full size. I only put about $100 into this initially. And then I was able to buy another close to $200 down at these oversold levels, because the RSI yesterday was at a 21. It was under 30, and now it's at 70, 76, so it's overbought. You know, that alone, using your MACD and your RSI indicators, can give you a good understanding of, okay, you know, do I cut my losses? Do I add more in this oversold territory? That way I could buy the dip, lower my average price, and push up higher. So to answer your question, I believe, you know, you don't really need a lot of money to trade. It just depends on you as a person. Do you have $1,000 to use? Do you have $10,000 to use? And are you comfortable trading with those two different amounts? If you don't have either one of those amounts, maybe you're going to start with $100, then you can start trading with $100, right? You could buy Hood at $68, right? One share, and be up $12 or 18%. You could be 18% up on $100. Somehow you could buy a full $100 of this by buying fractional shares as well. You know, you could be up $18 on just one share, okay? So you don't need a lot of money to trade. It's all about managing your risk. Now on this trade, I would have probably, as an example, had my stop loss. If you wanted to be really safe with your money, have it at that low of 68.67, okay? So now you're looking at it come the morning, right? You have this as a low. Maybe you're buying it pre-market around $71. You have a limit order set to 71. So maybe you're buying it at 71. Okay, you buy it at 71. You're risking 3% to make 15%. So now that is a risk to reward of 1 to 5, right? You're risking 1% of your account size to make 5, or a 1 for 5 risk reward. So you're risking 3% to make 15%. And right now is where you would be locking in profits on that trade, right? So we're up 12% or $81 on $700. So it just depends on your position size, right? You know, we have $500 in Netflix, and we're only up $1, right? So they're going to perform differently. Each position is going to perform differently. We have $300, we're up 6% or $18. So great question, BSAS, on how much risk reward you need and how much capital you need to swing trade. You can literally start swing trading with $100, $50, $20. Let me know in the comments too, guys. Some of our other LTE members, let me know how much you started trading with, how much you started investing with. You know, did you start right off the bat with $1,000 or $10,000? More than likely, maybe not. You probably built your position size up over time, or skill level, along with your confidence level. I know when I started, now what, over 8 years ago, I started with like $5. Put $5 in. I didn't buy anything, but I funded my Robinhood account with $5. Then I put 20 in. Then I put another 30 to make it even $50. Then I bought a few shares, you know, and then I built it up to $100. And at the time, you can get free shares for having people sign up using your link. And in that first 30 days, I think I crossed over like $500 with people signing up with my link, me funding my account. And then another 30 days later, we hit $1,000 on Robinhood. Even like now, if you guys are starting out and you like this trading platform on WEBULL, you can sign up with the link, fifth link in the description, first pinned comment in the comment section in the live stream, and you can get free money for signing up. You deposit $1 and you get free shares. I get 1 free share, and I believe you get up to 75 fractional shares. So you can get, you know, a piece of SoFi. You can get a piece of Netflix. You can get a piece of Hood, a piece of Disney, just for signing up with a link. Who doesn't love free money, guys? I think it's anywhere between $150 to like $3,000 that you can actually get in free money by signing up with that link. And if you don't like WEBULL, you don't have to use WEBULL. Get your free money, wait the 3 days to hold it, and then get out. You don't have to use WEBULL to get the free money, and you can have multiple brokerage accounts as well. So that's good to know. QQQ selling off back down to 603. Gato with no love. What a morning. And I like your name. Hello, hello. Learning on Robinhood with 400 down 70. Okay. All right. See, that's not bad. He's taking a swing trade on Robinhood with 400 bucks. He's down 70, but as it begins to recover, you know, he can make some decent money with $400. If it goes up 50%, he can make 200 bucks on a single trade. Andrew, like I said yesterday, we learned it. Yep, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with learning. You can learn with real money, or you can learn with paper trading. And WEBULL also offers paper trading. If you see down here, there is a paper trading feature. So you can sign up with my link, get free money, and then paper trade until you're confident enough to either use the free money or put more money of your own in. I always encourage our newbies, our new investor or traders to paper trade. Gato with no love started 2K. I used your sign up, made 9K in year cash account. Then tried margin, lost 5K in 1 month, ended year positive. Oh, wow. Started with 2K. I used your sign up link. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you using my sign up link. How much did you get in free money, Gato? I'd love to know. Tell our new members, did you get 100 bucks in free money? Did you get a couple $100 in free money when you signed up with my link? Yeah, margin's no joke. You know, the only time I'd necessarily use margin is if my account was over $25,000, because then you'd have unlimited day trades. Unlimited day trades. Imagine having 25K and having the ability to trade, you know, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million in volume in a single day. Buying the dip, selling the high, buying the dip, selling the high, rinse and repeat. You could turn 25,000 into $100,000 very easily in a year. You know, not necessarily easily, but the ability to be able to continuously trade those lows and highs. Having unlimited buying power and day trades. Now, if your margin account, you only have 3 day trades in a 5-day period. That's something called the PDT rule. That's why we use cash right now, because we're under 25,000. And you could trade as much as you want as well, as long as you don't overuse your buying power. So if you have $2,000 in buying power on a cash account, I could have 4 day trades in a single day if they're $500 trades. Now it'd only be 1 day trade a day if I used full size each trade, right? All right, here we go. A lot of choppiness on the market. Coming back down, a little bit of an overreaction on QQQ from 598 to 605. Pushed up 1%, now coming down to 602. And remember, when we started the live stream, we were only up about $50. Then we crossed over 100. Now we're only up about 90. So very interesting day. Let's see here, AGNC, or not AGNC, crypto. It's at 68,000. Jeez, I'm just having a rough start right here. This fell, that fell. Let's see here. There we go. I spilled like the smallest little amount of water. Like there was only that much in it. And I spilt a little. No biggie though. That's why you put your cap on your bottles, guys, even if you think you're gonna finish them. All right, let's see. Bitcoin again. See, here we go. So we might have a nice little setup on MSTZ. If Bitcoin continues to sell off, it breaks below this 45 EMA, we could see some downside potential here of about 1.5% on Bitcoin, which means MSTR could potentially fall as well. See how MSTR is kind of flatlining here, beginning to consolidate, possibility to curl over or begin to make new highs. You know, from this area down, that's a 5% sell-off. And if you wait for it to cross below this 45 EMA, that's a 3.5% sell-off, which means MSTZ could push up, you know, 7% to potentially 16% at this level. Now, what would my trade risk be? I would risk about, say, 3%, right there around 1917. I'd risk about 3% to make about 16% if it in fact begins to, you know, Bitcoin begins to sell off more, which means MSTR would sell off more, and then that would give us the confirmation that, hey, okay, it's breaking above the moving average. We could potentially make 10% on an MSTZ position. So that's what we're waiting for today. We're being very patient. I feel like we're doing a really good job by being patient, and that's what's so great too. Like you can swing trade, actively make money swing trading. You could have money in a swing trade and then have money set aside for day trades. What gets a lot of day traders in trouble is when you turn a day trade into a swing trade, especially a bad one, and you continue to lower your stop loss. Okay, I'm just going to lower it a little bit more. Like take this for example, right? Okay, well, I'm going to lower it more because it's going to bounce here. All right, I'm going to lower it a little bit more because it's going to bounce at 27. Oh, shoot, it didn't bounce at 27. I'm just going to lower it some more to 25. And then I'm going to lower it some more to 23, 20, 19. Before you know it, you're down on a day trade and you're having difficulty cutting losses because you keep lowering your stop loss. Now you're down 37%. You turn it into a swing trade, and then the next day maybe you're down 50% or 60% when you could have just did a good job by managing your risk, cutting your losses at 5%, getting out of a day trade that didn't work in your favor. Listen, I've done it before, guys. All these things I talk about, all these things that I literally talk to you about, all the things that I encourage our traders not to do, I've done. I've been there. I've been the guy who turned day trades into swing trades. I've been the guy who's lost hundreds and hundreds of dollars because I was lowering my stop loss and lowering my stop loss. Stick to your trade plan. It'll help you grow your account much faster with less of a headache, okay? Trust me, I know. I've lost plenty of money in the market over the years. Been doing this for a long time, and you know, I don't want you guys to have to struggle as much as I did. And again, we're all going to learn from our own mistakes, right? We're all going to have those days where we hate being wrong. We just want to be right. We want to make money. We want to push ourselves. And sometimes it just it doesn't work out, right? I just hate seeing people give that money back. Here we go. Break below. Bitcoin breaking below. Let's see if it holds or if it bounces off of this level. This is what we were waiting for. How long have we been live? For about 40 minutes. There we go. We can see a bounce above or a break below. BSAS, thanks and in. Smash that like button for me, guys. I'd appreciate it. It helps other people find this channel. And don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Join our Discord team. Looks like it's going to bounce right here. Yeah, looks like it's going to bounce. So we're going to bring this up to here. So if it does break below, we'll get an alert. Alerts are a great way that I like to trade. Setting your alerts. So if it breaks above 68.5, it'll be more bullish. If it breaks below 67,800, it'll be more bearish. And you can do the same thing for MSTR. I could technically create an alert here above 123.60. Oh, there it goes. It's going to push higher. So this is what's great about waiting and being patient. We don't want to get caught in a bad trade. Okay, it's consolidating. It has to sell off. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to sell off. We want to see an actual confirmation that this is selling off by breaking below this 45 EMA. MSTZ is going to break. So if you would have bought at $20 thinking it's going to push higher, it just has to, you would have already got stopped out at that 1926 mark. 1906 even, right? Patience will make you more money than being impatient and trying to catch the trade before it happens. Wait for the trade setup, wait for confirmation to the upside, and then we can get in and attack. We talk a lot about it. I have a video on the 3 stages of a reversal. I go into full detail on my YouTube channel. That'll help you understand. We have the rejection period, which is stage 1. This is a period where a lot of new traders want to get in and they want to anticipate this reversal, right? Then we have the consolidation period, which is stage 2. Here, you might be able to get away with buying, 10% of your position size. So if you trade with 100 shares, maybe you're buying 10 shares in this consolidation area just to get in. And then we have our confirmation period, where usually it looks like this. It'll retest, it'll begin to push up, and this is the area that you want to be in. This is where the professional traders are. We're putting 20 shares now, 30 shares. It's continuing to push up. Now we're at 50 shares. Then we're at 100 shares. When it crosses over, now we're full size 100 shares because it's showing confirmation to upside. And then we're in on full size as it pushes up. This is stage 3, the confirmation period. Then we're able to say, okay, I'm in 100 shares at 20.46. My stop loss can be whatever you make it, right? It could be at your average share price. Say your average share price was at $20 at 50 shares, okay? Then you add, and you're in 100 shares, so now your average share price is around 20.25 because it pushed up to 20.55. So now if it pushes down, you lose, like $5 or $10. As it pushes higher, now you're at break even. So now you're 100% risk free on this trade. Pushes higher, you bring this up more, now you're in profit. Higher, 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 it pushes up higher, higher, higher. Maybe this is the area where it begins to sell off, and when it sells off, your stop loss, trailing stop loss gets triggered, and that's where you lock in profits, right there in that area. All right, BTC holding. We'll see if we get another test for a bounce or if it will drop below. Thanks, and I watch your show every day and learned lots since I'm from India and I'm learning US cash market trading. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I think I remember you even joining some of the live streams when I was trading at a Starbucks last year. I think I was at Starbucks last summer, or was that the year before? I was doing some like travel trading type stuff, and I traded in a Starbucks for like a week, just because the internet at the hotel was so crappy. Traded in the hotel, traded in a couple different places. I do believe I remember your name from then. Okay, Bitcoin pushing up. QQQ is back down below the moving average, right? At 601, it's down 0.7. So yeah, guys, what we're gonna do, we have been live for 44 minutes. Usually I go live with the team, which is you guys, right? from 30 minutes to an hour, especially if there's, we're in an active trade. I don't like to actually walk away when we're in an active trade. Sometimes our trades play out right away, right? Sometimes we can get in at pre-market. We make our money in, basically 5-10 minutes and we can get out. Some days we have to wait for those trades to play out a little longer. And some days we have to wait, a few hours to lock in profits, or even wait to even get into a trade. This day on MSTZ, it hit 1485 pre-market. It pushed up to what is that, $17 in about 2 hours, holding it throughout the day, pushed up 21%. So 100 shares of this would have resulted in $300 on a single day. There's been other days where you make that money the second that the morning opens. Like this one here was a nice bounce. Sold off slightly down to 1352. If you caught this trade perfectly, you would have made 6%, or almost $1 per share in 30 minutes, right? So we're talking $80 to $100 in 30 minutes. So it's all about waiting for confirmation. MSTZ is down to 1871, so it is making a new low as MSTR pushes up. It did hit our alert here, which is great, right? Let MSTR push up as much as it wants. We still know that this is a BS company. It doesn't sell any products. It doesn't sell any services. All it does is it's like a treasury. It holds Bitcoin. Michael Saylor then dilutes his shareholders and uses that money to take out a loan to buy more Bitcoin. That's it. They just reported a $17 billion unrealized losses. And remember, MSTR's average share price on, I don't even know how many Bitcoins he owns. He owns so many Bitcoins. His average share price on Bitcoin was, or is, 67,000. Okay, it's $67,000. That's his average share price. So at one point he was not only negative 17 billion, but he was in the red. Now he's slightly in the green on his long-term position on Bitcoin, and we'll see what happens. Is this the bounce that everyone was waiting for? I believe Bitcoin could still go down to 50,000, maybe even 30,000. Does it have to happen today? No. Does it have to happen at all? No. That's just my opinion. And remember, I'll never tell you to buy, hold, or sell anything. I'm just sharing my thought with you on why MSTR is such a BS company. Let it pump, and when it does, we'll do our part by taking a trade on MSTZ and shorting MSTR even more. For everyone who's just tuning in or has not been following along, I have been shorting MSTR since December 5th. December 5th of last year. I have been shorting. These are all my daily trades. We locked in over $200 in 1 week in December. We made over $400 that month. And then January, locked in another $400. We reset the account. We locked in another $400 in January. And now it's February 6th. And we've already locked in, I think it's around $100 on MSTZ. I didn't trade it the last few days, but these first couple days of February, we made some decent money. So I don't mind shorting MSTR when it makes sense. Okay? I just want to showcase that to you guys. And you can go back and watch all those past live streams. They are available in our Discord for all of our Discord members. You do have to sign up with the Discord, but there is an archive here. If you go down to live trading, you can see every day I show up to the market and I trade with our LTE team every single day. We have I usually go back and I'll try to put this was a 3% day, this was a 2% day. January 13th, we made 3.5% in a single day on a day trade on MSTZ. Some of these other days we locked in profits too, but I just didn't put it. January 6th, we made 2% profit that day. So go back and watch some of these live streams. Another 3% day on 12/25. And we have live streams going back, I mean, over 2 years, all the way back to May of 2024. We have live streams for you guys. I trade MSTZ by shorting Bitcoin. I've traded other companies like SoundHound AI, Mara. I've traded pre-market momentum stocks like SXLE, BBX, Lunar. I've traded AMOD. I've traded STAI. These are just like pre-market momentum stocks, penny stocks. And it goes back all the way to May 2024, guys. A lot of great content in the Discord. Not only do you get access to my archive of live day trading sessions, but you also get access to our Learn to Earn lesson library. And you get access to our exclusive Discord. The library, when you go to start here, is right here. Learn to Earn lesson library. It gives you about, I think it's like 3 hours or so. It'll take you from knowing nothing about the stock market as a beginner trader to being confident and capable enough to start taking your own trades. So this is really cool. Learn to Earn lesson library has everything you need to start your investing or day trading journey. And then you can get involved with the chat room. We have plenty of people in here talking about their trades, talking about their profits, talking about different setups. I give you different alerts and things as well. And this is what I was talking about for Bitcoin. Their average share price on this one says $76,037. Okay, so a lot of great stuff here in the Discord. You can join by clicking the first link in the description and hang out with us every day at market open. We're currently up $95 or almost 5%. At one point we did cross over that $100 mark, and we're just waiting for a setup. I'd love to double this, maybe make another $100 in profit by shorting MSTR, but right now everything's looking a little bullish. Looks like it almost broke below that 45 EMA just for a second here. So again, I got my alert set. It breaks below and Bitcoin gives us confirmation that it's going to begin selling off again. MSTR will begin to break below this level. Then I'll have no problem taking position in MSTZ to make some more profits. Remember, QQQ is a little choppy today, going from bearish to bullish to bearish and now back to bullish. So we'll see what happens. And it looks like we just crossed over $100 in profit again today. So excited. It's a great day to be in the market. It's Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's live day trading sessions. A lot of great information. We went live on the earnings call for Google this week. We went live on the earnings call yesterday for Amazon and MSTR. Had a lot of fun answering your guys' questions. Remember, we're going to be doing our weekly Sunday stock talk this week at probably 6 p.m. my time. That is when the market opens for overnight trading hours. We can see a better direction of how the market's going to be moving into Monday morning. So definitely subscribe to the channel, smash that notification bell so you know when I go live for that weekly Sunday stock talk. You'll also be able to share with me one of your tickers or stocks or ETFs that you would like me to review. So start thinking about which company you would like me to review for that weekly Sunday stock talk. And Gato said Starbucks new protein drink had me go in. It was good. I heard about it. I want to try it. So that's definitely something I might do this weekend. I wish you guys all a great weekend and go out and do something fun. If it's sunny, go catch some sun, go for a walk, play a game, do something for yourself, buy yourself something nice, take care of your health, and overall, let's remember, guys, to go into next week with a positive mindset and the confidence and discipline to take trades, lock in profits, manage our risk, as well as ending the year on a green note. That's what's going to make us profitable. All right, let's focus on the good trades and let's not even take trades when they're bad trades. So
up $103 on the day, 5%. So not bad. I'm gonna be watching Bitcoin. I'll give you guys updates in the Discord if I do take a trade today. So that's why it's another great idea to join the Discord. Go to Trade Ideas, and that is where I'll update you. If I do take a position, I'll keep you up to date there. So thank you for your time, team. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Friday, and we'll see you all later. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, DM me in the Discord, and I'll be happy to have some conversations with you outside of the live streams. So, all right. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Later.